All right, Shane, next game. Let's, man, we were prepared to do an emergency podcast, and we never root for these teams to go down. But hell, it would have been huge news if it happened. Texas A&M survives on the road 10-7, beats Colorado. And I tried to tell you, Shane, that elevation, it'll get you.
Dude, you are right, man. We were 2 minutes out from jumping online and having an emergency pod. We don't like them, not unless it's an upset, which we thought about doing the Arkansas-Texas one, but if it was so late and it was out of hand, it wasn't like you guys won at the last minute. But I had notes ready for this one, Mike.
Yeah, and, of course, who would have thought that the Hayes King going down would have such an impact on Texas A&M? Certainly, we see why King won the job. Not to say Zach Calzada is a poor player, but he really struggled in this one mightily. And Texas A&M's offense, with the new offensive line and everything, no push for the most part against Colorado. That was a huge, huge red flag. And when that was taken away, Zach Calzada and we got to put some of this on the receivers, too. A lot of drops, a lot of passes were off the mark, too. But, Zach Calzada was a liability out there. That's just the way I saw it until late in the game. He started making some plays,
dude,
including the game-winning throw. I mean, it won the Aggies the game, so we got to give him that credit to that tough throw he made to Isaiah Spiller. And I was even more impressed by the fact that on the previous drive, I mean, my man's going in to score a touchdown. He fumbles on the inch line and loses it. How many young quarterbacks on the road would have crumbled in that moment? Yeah. And I think, and this is why I have Texas A&M still very high in my power ranking, Shane, because I think we saw Zach Calzada, not that he's, some elite All-American at this point, but I think we saw him grow up in front of our eyes. What do you think about that?
Dude, I'm telling you right now, Mike. I mean, we could focus on the negative parts and talk about what we didn't like in this game because there's a list. I have a list, but I want to focus on the good that came out of this, and I think it is Calzada, man, because on that final drive, the drive before last, when he was going down, it felt like he put this team on his shoulders, and he was not going to take no for an answer. They were going to win this game. In fact, I hated that the replay went against him and he fumbled into the end zone. I definitely wasn't excited about that. But like you said, you saw a young quarterback not go over there and sulk on the sidelines. When he got another opportunity, kudos to the defense, he came out there and he did it, man. And he was throwing some dimes. I'm talking when they slowed some of these damn passes down, we're talking inches from defenders' fingertips. He was painting out. He was an artist when it came down to it. And I think if I'm an Aggie fan, that excites me because we got a quarterback. Now, I hate that. I don't know what King's situation is, but I'm telling you right now, if Calzada leads the team next week, I'm all right with that.
Yeah, and, football truly is the ultimate team game, Shane, because while the offense was struggling, if not for this incredible Texas A&M defense, they would have been put in such a hole. I don't think Calzada would have brought them back. So, and had the defense, gotten down because King was out, didn't return. We don't know his status yet at this point, but man, if they did not man up, there's no way in hell Texas A&M's winning this game. So for all the praise we just threw to Zach Calzada, we got to 10 times that to the defense because they lived up to their reputation in this one.
I got to tell you, man, coming from that Tennessee game and then watching the A&M game and Calzada just coming together, I mean, I was just like, please, if things don't work out, come to Knoxville, man.
All right, let's kick it to Jimbo after the game, who talked about that progression from Calzada and his incredible defense they got there in College Station.
How proud of you are you of Zach after having that fumble and finishing the game?
To have the character to do that and make the plays, the scramble, he started moving his legs, and sometimes you get thrown in there, things get going too fast. I mean, he has guys open and he misses them. As I call, you flash read. I've been there, man. I played quarterback. And when I call flash read, and you see it, but you're going through it too quick. You know what I'm saying? And finally, the more reps, it slowed down. And I think, he realized he had to do it. And there's something to that now. When you realize you got to do it and you're able to put 2 drives together and scramble and make throws and plays when you had to. And the throw he made to Spiller was a great play at the end. Got to a player and a great throw on a scramble to a third receiver on that route. That was a number 3 receiver.
So, Jimbo, when you look at Zach's day today, would you, moving forward, be encouraged or concerned?
Oh, very encouraged. I mean, you're concerned and encouraged. You're both, because you got to fix things, but at the same time, to be able to make plays when you got to make plays, you can play great. I've had guys play great, but then there's certain times in the game you got to go make plays, can't make them, and grade out tremendously. And you have other guys, man, that can just find a way to make those plays when it matters. And the one thing you can say, he made the plays in those drives when it mattered, right there at the end and on both drives. So, we'll build on that and we'll fix the other things and move on. And we got to play better around him. The other thing, listen, you have young quarterback. You had a freshman quarterback right there, and you got another young quarterback. It's not his job. His job is for the guys around him to take care of him while he grows and what he has to do. Now, he'll do his job, but they got to grow, and we got to play really well around him.
Clemens was credited on that stop, but how big was that on 400 foot there?
Oh, at the end, I mean, just heart and guts and soul. I mean, that's culture. That's culture of an organization, and hopefully we can build on that.
Defense gave up 54 yards and 1 first down in the second half.
They were outstanding, man. I mean, they couldn't breathe. And I tell you the other thing we did a great job of. We condensed our rush lanes. Did not give the scrambles. That guy's really athletic, and the runs. And I don't know what we bat 6, 7, 8 balls. I know there was 2 or 3 on the last drive. I can think of about 6 off the top of my head. And there's other ways to affect a quarterback besides sacking him and running up the field and creating those lanes. You know what I mean? They were outstanding in the day. The second half was I mean, it was perfect. It was what we needed because it's the only way we could win the game.